Hey cool people, welcome back to another epic episode of Mac Movie Review. In this episode, we are looking at my favorite actors. We're looking at 10 actors who I think are absolutely amazing. Just a heads up, there's going to be some amazing actors who are not on this list. And just deal with it, you know? I might make another video in the future. Before I do that, I want to make another, I'll link it in the description, my best directors video, because there's a lot of amazing directors who I totally forgot to mention and just didn't talk about. Because, I was only doing a top 5, and like this, I'm doing a top 5 with 5 honorable mentions. Let's hop into those honorable mentions. My first honorable mention is Will Smith. Will Smith stars in movies like Hitch and Suicide Squad and the movie Concussion, the movie about headaches. He's also in Gemini Man. He's also the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This guy is in a lot of bad movies. After Earth, he's in a lot of, like, really kind of lame movies. I Am Legend. I mean, I've seen so many Will Smith movies. And he's fantastic in every single movie. Also, he's actually a really great actor. If you've seen the movie Pursuit of Happiness, he gives an Oscar award-worthy performance. He got nominated. He didn't win, but he should have won. It was absolutely amazing. Amazing movie. Will Smith is amazing. Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson stars in some good movies like Snakes on a Plane, also Pulp Fiction. He's also Captain America. He's also Nick Fury. He's in Star Wars as Mace Windu. But even more significantly, he's Frozone from The Incredibles, and he's absolutely amazing in that role. I love him in that movie. It's my second favorite movie of all time. I think he's great. And he's a great actor who I think really peaked in the 90s with Pulp Fiction, because I think he's kind of acted himself into a corner where he's just kind of the bad-mouthed, epic character that just, he's really cool and dismissive, and he's just plays the same character in every single movie now, which is unfortunate because I do think he actually does have a lot of talent. And, you know, it's most obvious in Pulp Fiction, but he is a really great actor. Jack Black is the star of the movie School of Rock, also the Kung Fu Panda franchise, which are really good. Like, honestly, okay, the movies it's not an amazing trilogy, but Jack Black is really, really good at voice acting and animation. Like, his voice works so well in that role, and you can tell he put a lot of effort into it, which you don't have to do with animation. He's also stars in Nacho Libre, and I have to say, this is one of my favorite comedy actors ever. You know, actually, he might be my favorite comedic actor, because he's so funny, and he's got so much personality, and he seems like such a fun, cool person. And, you know, in every movie he's in, and he's just really likable. Except for Tropic Thunder. He's really bad in Tropic Thunder for some reason. Anyway, Jack Black. Matt Damon is another honorable mention. Matt Damon is one of those actors who's always very good, but he's never, like, amazing. But he's a pretty consistent actor. He's in a lot of movies. He's really, really good in Ford vs. Ferrari. He's great in Good Will Hunting. Got a Oscar nomination for that one. He's also in the Bourne movies. He's Jason Bourne, which is pretty iconic. He's good in those movies. And he's just always good. And the reason he's not my top 5, the reason he's an honorable mention, is he never gives a performance that really blows me out of the water, that I truly can say is just an absolutely amazing performance. He's always just extremely good. And so he'll always be in this almost category for me of, like, you know, one day I wouldn't be surprised if he does eventually get, because he's been nominated for Best Actor several times at the Oscars. I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it one day, because he is a very good actor. My last honorable mention is Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller is the star of the very dumb but also very fun Night at the Museum movies. You know, those family movies where he's a night guard at the museum where everything comes to life. He's also Zoolander, and I haven't seen Zoolander yet, but I've heard he's really funny in Zoolander. And the reason he's on this list is he is the star of my all-time favorite movie, The Secret Life of Walter Mitty. He plays this very down-to-earth guy who goes on a great big adventure, and his performance is absolutely perfect. It is one of the most perfect performances I have seen in a movie. It's not even crazy. It's not even, like, gonna blow you out of the water with how good it is. It's just, he plays a normal guy who's funny and sarcastic, who goes on an adventure, and it just works so well in the movie, in the role. It was the role he was born to play, and He's a great actor. Now, let's hop into the top 5 best actors of all time. Jake Gyllenhaal, the star of Zodiac. He's in Spider-Man Far From Home. He plays the villain, Mysterio. He's great in that. And he's Nightcrawler. And Nightcrawler was the movie that made me say, wow, I gotta start taking this guy more seriously. Never won an Academy Award, which is just tragic, because he's so good. I don't even know if he's been nominated, honestly. But he's fantastic. He's also Donnie Darko. Just every single movie he's in, he absolutely steals the show. Your eyes are magnetized to Jake Gyllenhaal and his performance, because he is always so darn good. You know, honestly, you should click off this video and just watch a Jake Gyllenhaal movie. I don't care which one, just watch a Gyllenhaal movie. Robert Downey Jr. is Sherlock Holmes. He's also in Zodiac. And he is Doolittle, and I heard he's really bad in Doolittle. But that can all be forgiven, because he's also Iron Man. And I can't think of another example of an actor who so fully devoted himself to a role, not for one movie, but for a whole series of movies, for like a whole cinematic universe. I'm talking all the Iron Man movies, I'm talking the Avengers movies, he's even in Spider-Man. I mean, this guy just gave his heart and soul to this character, and he's absolutely iconic and just amazing in these movies, man. Like, he's fantastic. Like, I don't even care. You could be watching Iron Man 2, and it still has Robert Downey Jr. playing Iron Man, and it's still worth watching because of him. He's so good as this character. Not even necessarily in all these other roles, but just as Iron Man, he deserves to be on this spot, because he just plays this character so well, and he's just fantastic in so many movies where he is this character. Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix has a supporting role in the movie Signs, where he's actually very funny and very, very good. He also plays the villain in Gladiator. Don't have a lot to say about that because I haven't seen Gladiator in a really long time. But he's also Joker. And this is another example of an actor giving a performance that is so amazing, you just can't ignore it. Even the Academy Awards could not ignore it. You know, Joaquin Phoenix is one of those guys who's been chasing the Oscars. He's like Leonardo DiCaprio, who just chased the Oscar for so long, continually giving these Oscar award-worthy performances, and he got getting nominations. You know, movies like The Master and Walk the Line and all these movies, and he just never won. And then he was Joker, and the Academy Award could no longer turn a blind eye, and gave him that fat Oscar. He deserved it. He's an amazing actor. Chris Pratt, let me explain. Chris Pratt is Emmett. He's also Star-Lord, and he's the guy in Jurassic World. And let me tell you why I love Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is like an iconic movie star in a way that it doesn't feel like is a thing anymore. I feel like in the 60s and the 50s, and you know, you hear about the old days, there's movie stars who weren't necessarily great actors. They were just really iconic faces, and really, you know, they played iconic characters, and they were in a bunch of movies, and they were just an iconic person in every single movie they were in, even if, you know, they weren't amazing at acting necessarily. That is Chris Pratt after he was Star-Lord, and he legitimately is amazing as Star-Lord, but then he just starred in these movies where he was just kind of in the movie, and you could see he didn't have the most range, even though he kind of tried, and it's just fun. Chris Pratt is one of the most fun actors. When you see that Chris Pratt is in a movie, you know you're going to have a good time, because it's going to be a fun movie, and he's going to be fun in it, and he's just iconic. Keanu Reeves is the last person in my top 5, and I have to say, the top 5 is not ranked, it's just 5 amazing actors, so Keanu Reeves is the last one on this list. Keanu Reeves, and this kind of goes similar logic to why Chris Pratt is on here. Keanu Reeves feels like a normal person who is somehow in movies. He feels like just this normal guy. Like, if you're watching The Matrix, I just recently rewatched The Matrix for the second time in a very long time. And his reactions to things going on in the movie, it just feels like an actual person in this crazy, insane situation who just ends up becoming a star. He's also in Bill and Ted. Really funny, really great in Bill and Ted. He does some voice work, some voice acting in Toy Story 4. Really funny, really good. And he's John Wick. And I absolutely love him in the John Wick movies. I think he is just a master. He does a lot of his own stunts, which is so cool. I respect that so much. And he's my favorite action movie star, I guess. Unless, I mean, you might say well, I don't know. I'm not gonna put a definite title on that. But I love Keanu Reeves. Not just for the meme. I do think he's a really fun, cool person to see in a movie, and I think he is really good in everything that I've seen him in. You heard it here, folks. These are the best actors. Tell me, who's not on this list? Just off the top of my head, thinking of actors that aren't on this list, Robin Williams isn't on here. Robert De Niro isn't on here. Joe Pesci is not on here. Tom Cruise. You know, there's a few people I didn't include on this list, but I might do another one in the future. Tell me who should be on this who should be on this list that wasn't, who shouldn't be on this list that I included. Thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your day.